Welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity. Since last time, I went ahead and I realized that some of my weapons still needed to be enhanced to fine. So I enhanced all of Kana's weapons up to fine quality. Durance's staff is now fine quality. Why do you still have the rod? You know what? No, you can keep the rod, but you're going to be using a Rod of Wind and Thunder. Let's see here. And it is already fine. I think the Masuk Hunting Bow is damaging 3, which is better than fine. And of course, I can't exactly enhance the Sapphire Staff. So yeah, I would be going up to exceptional on everything, except I don't have any rubies, or I think it's garnets for armor, I want to say. No, it's sapphires for armor. Yeah, I have neither of those things, so...
Hey.
Actually, I'm sure the marketplace would have some. We've got a Dunwood Scion. Let's see here. Next Cadnua upgrade because the Artificer's Hall is done. I guess the Forum? It's 51k, right? Yeah. I went ahead and sold off things. Because, as I mentioned, I really don't need to keep anything except for uniques.
Hail, traveler.
You're the materials merchant, right? God, you only have up to Bloodstone and Moonstone. I guess I'll check at the others, but I don't
Good day, stranger.
think they're gonna have the gems I need.
Hello.
I really should be buying uniques at this point, but... whatever. I don't think there's like a jeweler or anything. So, last time we decided it was finally time to... Well, actually, no. We decided... Well... I'm pretty sure I decided, okay, we're going to clear House Dominel because they're criminals. And they're going to have us kill on sight, so it's probably best to just exterminate them. And then continue the quest by going to the Temple of Woedica, which there's an entrance to in the catacombs. I have a feeling the main temple is broken down. Because if you don't remember, because it's been so many episodes, a faction called the Leaden Key is who had summoned that Bioic that turned us into a Watcher. I say us. It's really just Hana. You can... Oh, I didn't know about the string of commands.
Hello.
The burly guard eyes you warily. I don't recognize you. What business do you have with House Dominel? I'm just here to loot the place and kill anyone in my way. Wow, that is more honest than I expected to be able to be. If you don't recall, Dominel is the crime syndicate in Defiance Bay.
All right. Then.
I forget how I upset them. Oh, right, I did the job for that merchant. The Sveth dealer. Not the Sveth dealer. It was those seeds. The planned seeds. Oh, that is money. That's all I see with
I'll see what I can find.
fine items
I'll see what
now.
I can do.
Money.
Work of a moment.
Just doing stealth for lock things in case of traps.
I'll have it in no time. The work of a moment.
It's their fault for defending the Dominels. I do hope that they have programmable AI in Pillars 2. Like that and auto pause
Be on seat.
trap reveal would be like the biggest quality of life change.
You're not getting through.
Is that actually the whole downstairs? Okay. I guess it is a manor. Not like, you know, a palace. Why is the palace one floor? It's a big floor. What? Did the charmed guard actually... He ran on to start more fights.
Doing the job.
I wonder if there's a permanent charm ability.
I'll have it in no time. The work of a moment.
Restore light endurance. Oh, I just understood. I just got the charm endurance.
That's it.
Quest failed. Challenge the changing of the government. Well, whatever. I really wasn't planning on doing any quests ever for the Dominels, so...
Leave
it to me! Stand still!
An exceptional rapier. Ring of protection. Grimoire.
I'll see what I can do. The work of a moment.
Aloy.
Really?
Shit.
I thought I was safe. Oh! That was worth
Hey.
it, though.
That one hit through. slow and silent.
I want to see what I can do. The work of a moment. That's it!
I don't care that I'm failing quests by clearing the place out.
Roll up 10.
You've lost reputation with House Dominel. Moderate. Really? I've only lost moderate reputation for killing one of the major... So what is my reputation with them now? Terror. I'm pretty sure that's what it was before. I was already at the lowest rank for killing one of them. I don't even care if I'm not getting a reward for that. They come under my house, into my roof. Alright. Let's go stay at the inn because Alos somehow didn't see that trap. And fix my inventory situation because I don't actually need to have items in my inventory apparently. Alright, I should look at the... where is it? Embossed Grimoire. Crackling Bowl. I mean, at this point, I might as well learn all of the spells. Because the only other way to learn spells is leveling up. And spending points on it. And I have so much money, there's genuinely no point not to. Well, no point in not doing it. I mean, I'm not going to go through it every spell with Aloth as well, but... in fact, let's take a moment to do this. This is so stupid. Oh, there's... oh wait, no, that's Helix. I was gonna say, there's her original Grimoire. And it hasn't really even made a dent in my money, either. And the Grimoires themselves are money now, too. Wasn't there a unique bow I got? Oh, right, I gave it to Adair. So yeah, I just killed a crime syndicate for fun. How did you spend your Thursday? It only took 10 minutes. Okay.
Good day, stranger.
Give me the intellect, I guess. Alright, and now back to the Temple of Woedica. catacombs. This is going to be really embarrassing if it's not actually there. And I'm misremembering. Downward Scion leaves the stronghold. Yeah, I don't care. I wasn't really going to hire that one. Because I don't need the hit to my prestige. I should probably put those rings of protection on Adair. Good thing you can access your stash from anywhere. Honestly, I would probably be having a lot less fun if the game weren't so broken in that way. That's Ring of Deflection. Honestly, I'd rather take these. Kana, you can take the Ring of Deflection. You don't have a back. So let's give you... You're like an off tank, so... Ooh, that's 15 endurance versus 9 fortitude, reflex, and will. I think I actually don't take the endurance there. You need boots. Sure. Get those. Does anyone not have a good headpiece? You don't. Athletic, dexterity, that goes to you. You have a minor cloak of protection. Anything better for you? Knockdown isn't really great. You know what? I'll go ahead and give you the Amulet of Summer Solstice, actually. Give you the ability to do some area of effect damage. Alright, do I have any gloves? Just doing a real quick gear check. You do not have a belt. Belt is Spellbind Knockdown. That's not really important for you. Okay. I'm not even gonna bother seeing if there's a main area. I realize I could do one of the bound. I could try the Dweller again, but I'm gonna wait on that one.
Nice and quiet.
All right. Oh. In front of you looms the ghostly, hollow image of the man who is present at your awakening. He casts a pale, sickly light in the dank corridor as he regards you.
You are from Kratom, my dear?
His words are an echo in your mind from a time long past, and you know your response before you speak it, as if it has always been. Only recently.
A remarkable city. Truly one of the most impressive we have encountered outside of our own. Many exceptional people who have joined our cause come from Kratom. What made you decide to join our order?
I went through dark times. Nothing made sense. All that changed when your order came all that changed when your order came to my homeland.
Little makes sense in the false context much of the world has lived under for so long. It is by the mercy of the gods that our faith has been able to reach so many of the heathen in more recent times. Are you ready to take the oath? To spread the word of the gods to the lost and heathen?
I am.
Nice and quiet.
The mercenary eyes you warily as you approach, his weapon ready. What are you doing here? You don't look like one of that masked lot. What's going on here? Since you don't know, you clearly don't belong here. Well. Oh yeah, I was meant to come here as soon as I got to Defiance Bay.
Leave it to me!
Gonna get another grimoire, which probably won't have any of the spells I care about. The nice thing is, if there are any spells I want to give to Aloth, I just need to hand him Hana's grimoire for a moment. There are novices grimoires, so they're not going to be worth anything to me. I'm just checking in case of anything interesting popping up, like a magical item. Ooh, binding copper. Don't see that pop up very often.
Laying low.
Aloth falters and brings a hand to his forehead. He takes a staggering step forward, coughing and sputtering.
Back, you clod! Those hooded fiends are nigh to be trusted!
Elf, pull yourself together. He grimaces, catching his breath. It's nothing. I'm fine. He coughs again. This probably isn't the best place to linger anyhow. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Aloth is having an awakening of his own.
Leave it!
It's kind of embarrassing that Hana went down. And Hana went down. It's all embarrassing, really. Okay, Sagani, you should switch to your melee set.
That's it! That's not very helpful. Leave it to me! For
Okay, let's pull back here. Now things make more sense.
That's it!
We were bottlenecked. Whatever. I don't care about using camping supplies. Crumpled at your feet lies the body of a woman. She wears a dark robe that bears an insignia resembling a key. As you approach the woman's body, feelings of rage assault you. The dead woman's voice howls in your ears, and her lingering consciousness rends at yours. Her essence tingles through your bones and membranes. It fills the spaces between your ears and behind your eyes, clawing deeper into your core. You see a gathering of men and women wearing the robes like hers, their faces hidden behind masks. One by one, they approach her, whom they know as an acolyte, and she places her hand on each of their foreheads, searching their thoughts. She tests them with ritualistic questions, and they answer that their oath is sealed by Leaden Key. She asks them of their tasks. She gives them new ones, all without a word. Her essence flares, fighting to boil your blood, burn your memory, and splinter your bones from within. Yet between its strikes you see flashes of something else. A tower, a prisoner, and a ruin. You funnel all of your concentration into a single effort of will, a sharp point that pins the raging soul in place like an insect in a display case. With that thing under your control, you're able to examine it and the three thoughts swirling inside. Examine the thought about the tower. You see a palimpsest of a neighborhood. Run-down estates are cobbled around a cemetery and an ancient tower. Savage shapes prowl the streets, and in the tower a man hunches over a strange mechanism. You can't see him clearly, but there's something unnatural about him. Somewhere nearby, you see a woman with a scar over her heart. You understand that she has something he needs. You also see a door in the base of the tower, a seemingly impenetrable slab of stone and copper. But then the acolyte reveals the invisible split between the perfectly matched halves, and you understand how the copper veins convert a command into an action. You know how to open the door. Okay, so that was the tower in Heritage Hill. I was right about it being part of the main quest. Wow. Inquire about the prisoner. In your mind, you see a building, magnificent, with trellises and tiles, and located on a pristine boulevard. The wealthy and learned stroll in and out, trading knowledge and coin. Yet it also houses misery and madness. Somewhere within its rotten core sits a man, his hair matted but his eyes alert. He watches and waits, a prisoner by choice. Would that be the Ducal Palace? Look into the ruin. The Acolyte's vision takes you out of Defiance Bay into a town in the wilderness with a watermill. A signpost on one of the paths reads Deerford. Several figures huddle together, shrouded in cloaks and hoods. An image of ruin suddenly looms in your mind. Two skeletal effigies flank a cleft in the mountainside. So, I've been to Deerford. Is this anything? That wouldn't be about the Scale Temple, would it? Scale. I think it's Scade. Back away. Money.
All right, then.
Lead key. Go ahead and camp. Quest completed. Never far from the Queen.
Hey.
I mean, we have the rest of the freaking... Ooh. Torque of Defiance. Necklace. Defiance of Concentration plus 10. 25 defense against charmed, confused attacks, 10 defense against dominated attacks. Alright. There's a new quest. That'll get us a red reed wand. Let's have the grieving mother do that one. She needs to get out. Earned 1,000. Still a day and 3 hours left on construction. Devotees have placed assorted keys, their teeth filed away among the runnels of wax. So... didn't actually check this room.
Wayface,
More mercenaries. Low-level
You're not getting
mercenaries.
love beyond seek.
Off Leon Seek. Good boy sniffing out.
La
the other.
Varu, beyond. You're not getting to me. La Varu.
By the deeds of my tongue and... Oh, that's not it. Crate of food supplies. Coin. A chest locked with the lead key with values and money. Coin that was and still is. A book lies on the table, its pages filled with some kind of unintelligible cryptography. Huh. Well, that was honestly predictably easy. I just screwed up by staying in a bottleneck. So, we need to find the places of misery and madness. I need to go to the tower in Heritage Hill. And I need to find the ruin in the Deerford.
A moment, please. I feel I should explain myself. About my episode in the catacombs. There's something I should have told you earlier.
That's an understatement. He clasps his hands together, slowly massaging a knuckle with his thumb. I meant no harm. I thought I could keep it to myself. That when we resolved the matter of your soul, we would also address my problem.
I also have an awakened soul. But unlike yours, mine is a presence that shares my senses and my skin, making herself manifest at the most unwelcome times.
He closes his eyes and grits his teeth. His lips quiver and twitch with the vestiges of some internal debate. Seconds later, he opens his eyes again. They're watery and bloodshot.
I'm sorry. I've tried to learn to control Isilmir. I've gotten stronger, but so has she.
Why didn't you say something sooner?
I learned to keep her a secret a very long time ago. Those with awakened souls are shunned, mistrusted. And after your experience with Meowald, I'm certain you can see why. You need to be careful.
Wow, the audio warped there. Tell me about Isilmir.
Artless, uncouth, a creature of rash impulses and feeble faculties. She wags her impertinent tongue when she should listen. Aye, this one's fit to boil. Hard to get this gaff over anything tisn't to do with books and spell speak.
He grimaces, running his hands through his hair. I have none of her memories, Barath spared me that much, but her coarse manners and intolerable hill speak suggest a provincial from a very, very long time ago. She tends to surface a hair's breadth from conflict, when the fuse has burned down and teeth are on edge, and that's when she shows up. Oh, and when she shows up, she doesn't stop to gauge a situation. She just acts. She seems reckless. That's it, exactly. You recall the way she goaded those villagers at Gilded Vale. She doesn't think, and she doesn't back down. And trying to suppress that has been my problem for years. Is this going to be a problem?
Merely an annoyance. Although, Defiance Bay is said to have an entire institution dedicated to the study and cure of soul-related ailments. Since our journeys have already brought us to the city, perhaps we could speak with someone there.
If it's helpful to you, we'll go. His shoulders loosened by the slightest fraction. Thank you. This has been a great burden.
Hey.
Alright, we have Aloth's quest. I was wondering when that would pop up. I say we do that before heading to the Heritage Hill Tower. So we need to go to the sanitarium.
Come now, it'll be fun.
No.
Even just a single...
I'm not calling Isilmir out just so you can learn he'll speak. I'll write down a few words.
Of course you would, Kana. Right, who might we talk to about this? Oh, the escort is done. Oddmare.
Hail, traveler.
A bald man with a crooked nose gestures in demonstration over the still body of a patient before a small gathering of interested onlookers. Feeling your gaze, he pauses his discussion. Have you come to sit in? Do you know anything about awakenings? I'm afraid that's not my area of expertise. Oh. A well-maintained statue of a middle-aged man presides over the room, looking down unblinking over the bustle of harried academics pestered by the hopeful desperate. A strong warmth emanates from it that you could sense from across the room. There's a human soul stored underneath the stonework. You feel its attention turn towards you. It has been some time since a watcher graced these halls. His voice echoes deeply, rumbling the floor beneath you. I am envious of your natural insights, traveler. I can only imagine how it might have helped my work in life. Now, what is it that has brought you to my sanitarium? You may have a member of the Leaden Key in your midst. Ethelmore groans and the stone around him shudders. I could have done without hearing that today. Many have their intrusions been into our affairs. Of course, one can seldom be certain whether they've meddled or whether calamity has struck on its own, but a few of their less skilled infiltrators have been exposed from time to time. They are a perpetual nuisance. Once again, I am reminded of how envious I am of your gifts. I suspect they would be of some use in verifying one's identity. You were at odds with the Leaden Key as well, I take it? They're up to something, and I'm trying to determine what. They are always up to something. Of that you may rest assured. If their plots have come to involve you, you have my sympathies. Do you have any idea of who this person might be? I won't know until... No, it would be unwise to consider anyone above suspicion. Very well. In that case, I would recommend you speak first with... you speak first with our resident animancers. They have frequent interactions with both patients and colleagues. You'll find them up here or in their offices downstairs. You'll report anything suspicious to me immediately. This is my only request. Does anyone here know anything about awakenings? There's an animancer on the lower floor who came all the way from Revua to study them. Take the stairs down and look for Belisig.
Hey.
I didn't expect that to be where that was, but okay. Well, they did move his body, at least. Oh, there's Belisig. Something else you need? I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. She laughs bitterly. Ah, that would be me. The lack of research subjects has made me more an expert in counting floorboards. I would like to transfer Animante's success in buttressing pre-awakened souls to soothing those whose souls have already been awakened. But I need subjects, and most of the patients here are too broken to produce reliable results. It is a tragedy to have come so far for nothing. You're in luck. I have a volunteer. She springs to the balls of her feet, beaming. Gillard! Who is it? Aloth's lip curl into a frown. I don't know about this. She grins more broadly still. Don't be silly. The process is perfectly harmless. All you have to do is stand in that cage. I beg your pardon? I jest. You Adirians are so uptight. I do not even know what the thing is used for. It belonged to the last occupant of this office, I think. Now they upgraded him to a cell. Again, I jest. She whips her hands together, getting down to business. So, I need you to sit here. She takes Aloth by the shoulders and steers him to the couch. And try to relax, but don't try too hard. Then you won't be relaxing. Indeed. His eyes are humorless. And you also must wear these. A bit cold, but the copper will conduct your essence. The Animancer fastens thick copper bands to Aloth's forehead and wrists. As she ratchets them tighter, his face twitches with suppressed irritation. Now, I will examine your soul through my scope. She reaches into her desk and produces a long chambered tube. Knobs, dials, and small toothed wheels run along the side of the device. It's fitted with Audra lenses cut to different thicknesses and concavities. By manipulating them, I find the angles and densities that will allow me to track the anomalies in your soul. How exciting! I've never seen this sort of thing performed. Khan peers at the device with interest. It seems suitably complicated. Does this mean we'll get to talk to Isilmir more? I like that lady. She raises a finger. But first we must find this cunning interloper. You'll answer some personal questions while I make adjustments. Sagani pats his arm. Don't worry, I'm sure we won't hear any of it. Aloth squirms on the couch. Very well. She holds the scope to her eye and flicks a knob. To begin, tell me something personal. Something from a time before your awakening. There's nothing to tell. I was just a normal child living in the Seathwood. He looks to you. His face is set in a frown, but the rigid edges of apprehension show through nevertheless. Talk about your parents. As you speak to Aloth, you feel your voice like a bell in your chest. It tolls softly, luring him to the mists of his own memory. Belisig doesn't seem to notice anything, but you feel as if your words are smoothing his essence, untangling its many threads. He closes his eyes. Mother is away most of the time, with the Thanes family, but I always know when she is coming home. Father's bottles accumulate like storm clouds on the horizon. His fits of temper become swifter and more violent. It still shames him knowing that her hamneg to another man supports us better than his labors as a steward. This is good. I'm starting to see something. Continue. Tell us about the time you awakened. She bites her tongue as she twists one of the dials. I'm in my 5th year of training. Mother is home. I can let my guard down a little because when she's around, he's usually only angry with her. But he's heard that I have had trouble casting missiles, that my flame shields are unstable. He's furious that I've failed, and Mother's presence reminds him that he's failed too. The first blow takes me by surprise. One moment I am sweeping the kitchen, the next I'm sprawled on the ground, stupidly looking at flecks of my blood on the tile. His boots, glistening with fresh polish, thud across the floor. He kicks me in the stomach, and I curl up to shield my vitals. But it's pointless. Protecting one thing only leaves something else exposed. Still huddled on the ground, I retreat as fast as I can. I retreat until the vision of the kitchen and my own trembling knees is nothing but a pinprick against a field of black. His jaw locks and his eyes twitch beneath their lids. Mariko! Belisig furiously cranks the knobs along her scope. He's hypnotized himself with this old memory. You've got to bring him out of it. Quickly, I almost have it. You're safe. Everything's fine. Aloth's eyes snap open, but the expression you see in them isn't his. He's ne'er safe when I hap upon him. Belisig sucks a deep breath through her teeth. That's it. I'm seeing a shift in his essence. Something spreading and congealing. She glances at you over her scope. Keep talking. He seems to respond to you. What brought you here? Cracking bones and voices high in ire. That warm molasses feeling that grips down your gut when crisis is nigh. Belfetto, you have flares of a totally distinct essence. She jots shorthand notes onto the pages near her and turns one clicking knob of her scope. Now, try to get the two of them talking. Aloth, ask Isilmir what she's doing. Aloth's face twists in fury. Sticking weed, worming parasite. He bursts into sudden laughter. You'd say the same to your own kindled twig when it betrays you. Adair grins. Must be hard knowing there's a lady in your body the whole time judging you. Good, yes, very good. She rests from her scribbling, only to make another adjustment to her scope. I can now see two separate patterns of essence, where he ebbs, the other flows. It's as if the awakened soul fills the spaces that he leaves empty. She prompts you with a circling of her wrist, quill still in hand. Go on. Isilmir, what exactly are you taking from him? Not more than I'm giving. You should ask what I did that old man of his. How the last time he laid a hand on us, I break it in 3 places. Aloth's head jerks to the side. That wasn't your decision. It's never been your decision. Now I was awakening, but now I'm stuck with you. Damned if I let your ninnying drag us both through the scupper. Ah, very good. She lowers her scope and consults her notes. I think I finally got something we can work with. I've tracked Isilmir's essence through the exchange. She had a particularly high density index during the most heated portions of their argument, and her essence seemed to localize most clearly in the lower portion of the subject's left ribcage. That's right around the spleen, which of course means she's triggered by black bile. No doubt the subject's characteristic melancholy is to blame. Aloth blinks back at you, and in the midst of his perturbation, you're not quite sure who's looking out of his eyes. That's utter horse shit. Sagani's eyes are wide and innocent. It does seem as though she got one thing right. She glares at him. Yes, never mind my years of training. I suppose you have a better explanation? You're close. I think Isilmir's appearances are related to potential sources of trouble for Aloth. Belisig carefully scratches her jaw, her gaze darting between you and Aloth. I suppose that could be true. She jots another note. I'll have to check this against other research. He removes the copper bands. Well and good for you, but what does this mean for me? Belisig frowns at her notes, tapping her cheek with a quill and making a grand show of concentration. However, you catch her stealing a glance at you over the pages. Isilmir tries to take control when she thinks you can't face a problem on your own. You can't let her make these decisions for you. She did you a favor by dealing with your father, didn't she? I think she's trying to help you stand up for yourself. You may not like her methods, but you should hear her how. It seems that Isilmir steps in when she determines that you're in danger. It's not clear whether this is a help or hindrance. You may not like her methods, but you should hear her out. That's the most logical one here. If you had to listen to her half as much as I do, you wouldn't say that. He scowls, but you notice something thoughtful in his frown. I've got a lot to process. Thank you for your help, Hana. He doesn't look at Belisig. She sets her notes on her desk and returns to her scope. Well, I hope this has been as useful to you as it has been to me. I finally have material worth publishing. You'll be the toast of review of Fentre Aloth. His grimace melts into a crooked smile. Aye, advancing the right-wise principles of animancy. Oh. Aye, advancing the right-wise principles of animancy. Just what you've always wanted. As you turn to leave, you catch a darting movement out of the corner of your eye. Belisig is humming to herself, still occupied with her scope, but Aloth is holding her notes. He's just about to tuck them into his cloak when he catches you watching. He holds a finger to his lips, his eyes wide and imploring. Please, I don't want my personal information published like this, especially not after her nonsense. No, you get your explanation and she gets her research. That was the deal. He slides the papers back onto the desk, giving you a rueful look. I'm now gonna help you explain this one, Scholar Boy.
Hey.
Wow, There has to be, like, a follow-up to that one, really. Let's see here. I don't think I have any other errands I can do quickly. Let me see. I guess I need to talk to the animancers around here. It's probably the named one up here.
Greetings.
What is it you do here? Close as we are to the Glenfathen Wilds, we get a number of Biowick maimings every year. Survivors dealing with complications from exposure. This fellow here is a severe case. His essence is a mere whisper of what it was. I'm early in my research, only beginning to understand how they work, but in time I hope to find a way to protect people from the storm's effects.
Welcome.
I'd like to know more about the sanitarium. He gives an eager nod. It's a mission that attracted me here. The treatment of the disturbed. No one else seems to care about them. Here, they've worked wonders for them. I've seen people cured of insatiable hungers and uncontrollable urges. I've seen the crippled walk and the dysphoric smile. All within these walls. The thought that the Duke could put an end to it with a single order. It keeps me up nights. Well, you're rather short. Guard. Animancer? Can I talk to the generics? There's probably someone else down here. Oh, Ripley.
Well met, friend.
A young Orlin woman traces her fingers along the spines of the books in front of her, row by row, her motions quick and skittish like a bird's. She does not notice you until you are nearly upon her. Oh my, you startled me. Are you supposed to be in here? I'm investigating any suspicious activity in the sanitarium. Oh, I'm just Master Azoz's assistant. He'd know more about that, but he's in the middle of an experiment. Busy with some patients. You won't be able to see him until he comes out from the patient ward. If there's nothing else, I need to get back to work. Is Azo busy with patients, or is he running some sort of experiment? I'm just an assistant. It's not my place to gossip. Sorry. How do I get into the patient ward? Uh-huh. Yeah, talk to Ethel more.
How do you do?
Have you learned anything of interest? Maybe. Is Cademan Azo running experiments on the patients here? Experiments? Cademan Azo is in charge of patient welfare now. He's not authorized to run any more experiments. I'm disappointed in Cademan. I had hoped he would be the one to guide your inquiry. He'll be in his office or in the patient wards. I'm granting you immediate access so you can find him. No doubt you will wish to speak with him further on the matter. And I, for one, am curious as to what he might have to say. Tread carefully in the wards. There are a few dangerous cases. I would ask also that you do your best not to agitate the patients. They have enough troubles as it is. Fair enough. head warden says you can go in. Be careful in there. Right. I'm not gonna talk to anyone because I have a feeling that's only going to get them mad at me. Flesh constructs?
Yes?
Talk to the flesh construct? No
Hey.
visitors. Can I talk to a guard? I wouldn't mind being better armed. So what if it makes the clients a little
Hey.
nervous? This is effectively a hospital, dude. Oops. I guess I need to talk to the named one. A curved spine twists the woman's posture forward, her greasy hair draped over her large eyes like vines. She smiles at you. You must be visiting someone. Then, noting your appearance, she adds, a friendly visit, I hope. Do you know where I might find Asa? I think I've seen him around today. Have you checked the laboratory? It shares a wall with his office. He's been spending most of his time there lately. What do you know about Azo? Oh, I like him very much. Many animancers could care less about their patients. Look at us like vermin for their experiments. But Master Azo treats us like humans, even the very sick. You can tell he does this to help people. He's helped me understand a great deal about myself, and I know he's done the same for others. It's too bad what they did to him. He hides it well, but I know he's still affected by it. What happened to Azo? Frail's eyes dart back and forth, and her voice lowers to just above a whisper. They don't like to talk about it, but there was an accident. He was said to be one of the brightest in Deerwood. That was his reputation here, and that was what brought me to seek treatment. People say it was his ego that drove him to try and solve the legacy, but that's hogwash, even if he was a bit of a showman. He loves his homeland. He thought he could help. He wasn't one to speak of his work. He suspected colleagues might have tried to steal it, but he told me once that he'd figured out a way to create a soul. Not a soul, exactly, mind you. How did he put it? A proxy, I think he called it. Had some machine that drew energy out of the very ether. Can you imagine? The point is, it was going to help with the legacy. It was going to make Hollowborn into something easier to love and care for. Gods know that's something we need. Do you know what they call those little empty babies in Andra's gift? No. Tell me. They call them buoys because so many of them are found floating face down in the water. These are mad times. Anyway, Master Azo had scheduled a public demonstration of his work in Copperlight. He was so excited. And then the next day he was locked in his office, turning away visitors, I heard, and he stopped seeing patients. I don't know exactly what happened, and I don't have the heart to ask him, but I'm glad they're letting him treat people again. There's a wall with his office. North Ward restricted. Oh, I can go through here.
That's unusual.
There's
The
Caveman.
work of a moment.
With Ravenwing, a unique mace with 3DR bypass, plus 4 accuracy when attacking the same target as an ally, and damage when targeting the same target as an ally. Damaging 3. don't really use
I'll
maces.
see what I can do. The work of a moment.
And Blide Goblin. Light armor, breakout, preservation, and fine. A round-faced, balding man turns to face you. His upper lip is pulled up. His upper lip is pulled upward slightly by his pointed nose, exposing his upper teeth when he scowls.
What is the meaning of this?
Ethel Moore told me you're not supposed to be doing any more experiments. Yes, well, Ethel Moore hasn't done much good for anybody since he had his soul moved into an inanimate object, so I fail to see why I should let that sway me. If animators all followed the commands of their leaders, where would we be? We'd all be as backwards and willfully ignorant as Reed Saris. We would know nothing about life or death or even ourselves. We'd be lost in the dark with no clue as to why. I never thought I'd find myself in agreement with the statue, but Ethel Moore's right about this fellow, at least. He sneers at Azo. How easily ambition masquerades as prudence. I bet he's fooled even himself. Let's see. Surely there are other paths that don't involve risking lives.
Indeed. Many lives have been spent in such pursuits, writing treatises and poems. But tell me this, how does one verify the truth of a poem? If some philosopher stumbled across the meaning of our existence, how would we know it from a false one? These are wasted lives. In animancy there is progress. We are measurably closer to complete understanding because of our work. And that will be true until our work is complete. Who will solve Widewen's legacy? Some church? Some warrior? It will be an animancer, or it will be no one at all.
Have you tried your experiments on any other subjects? I have, yes. No point in lying about it, now that Ethel Moore is involved. I asked for volunteers from our patients, and a few brave souls came forward. I was very close at one time to a breakthrough. They understood that. They understood that their sacrifices would mean something. Have you seen any unusual behavior out of your patients? You're going to get a lot of looks asking questions like that in a sanitarium for the unbalanced. In truth, I have spent a little time treating them since I've been reduced in my capacities. You might have luck with one of our more functional patients. They tend to congregate in the main area, just past the entrance to the patient wards. I heard you were demoted. How did it happen? That's none of your concern. Did one of the others put you up to this? Oddmare? That smug weasel. Things went wrong. Everything. I don't know. I'll never know. Right.
Hey.
He said the main area. Oh! Quest complete. We got the Red Reed Wand. A wand with accurate 3. My son, you see your sisters across the moor. And Nature's Terror. Which is a summon spell for will-o-wisps. And a shock, damage, and terrify AoE. Cool. Hey, Freya.
Well met, friend.
Have any of the patients here been acting unusually? Well, there's Batixa, who relives a murder she committed more than 5 lifetimes ago. Edelman, who they say only has half a soul and was found collecting the faces of others because he believed his own to be a false one. Graham, he speaks in a language no one understands and wails at night sometimes. Different from their normal behavior, I mean. Well, yes, I suppose, but nothing they didn't volunteer for. Master Azo let us know that a number of patients in the North Ward had volunteered for a new therapy and would be escorted to his laboratory to receive treatment. The North Ward has our most troubled cases. I'm glad some of them have chosen to get help. It seems to me it's gotten quieter over there since it started. It's Graham I see them taking in the most. He struggles, but he was always a bit of a wild one. Would I be able to visit the North Ward? They like to keep them separate. I don't know that I've ever seen the guards allow a visitor, just Master Azo. You might ask him. He's very sympathetic. Well...
What is it now?
I'd like access to the North Ward. Out of the question. Those patients are in isolation for a reason. I've been given permission to conduct my investigation down here. You'd best cooperate.
My answer is no. Whatever you're looking for, those patients will not be able to help you. The head warden will stand by me on this.
Will he now? I don't want to call her out. I guess I could just go ahead and use the perception hood and another Blaskin.
Welcome!
Oh. No. Well, I'm gonna end things here, and next time we're gonna head into the North Ward.